Okay, so let's try to solve this question. In this question has been asked that 4 gram of metallic chloride contains 1.89 gram of the metal X. Okay, and we have to calculate the empirical formula of the metallic chloride. Okay, so what do we have to calculate? So we have to calculate the empirical formula of the metallic chloride. Okay, and the atomic weight of the metal and the chloride both is given, which are 64 and 35.5 respectively. Okay, so whenever it comes to calculate the empirical formula, what do we do? So whenever it comes to find the empirical formula, we make the table. Okay, what is the first part of the table? First part is element. Okay, what is the second part? Second part is percentage composition. Okay, what is third part? Third part is the atomic weight. What is the fourth part? Fourth part is relative number of atoms. Okay, it's a relative number of atoms. Okay, and what is the last? Last is the simple ratio. Okay, last is a simple ratio. Okay, so what are the elements in this question? So the element is metal X and the chloride Cl. Okay, so X and Cl. What about the percentage composition? Sir, in the entire question there is no percentage composition given. Okay, if you read the whole question, there is no percentage composition is given. That means we have to calculate the percentage composition over here. Okay, let's go further. First of all, what is the atomic weight? So atomic weights are given. The metal is a metal X has 64 and the chloride has 35.5. So we put the 64 over here and we put the 35.5 over here. Okay, correct? Understood? Okay, understandable. Now if you want to go further steps, we need the percentage composition. So sir, as you mentioned, we have to calculate percentage composition. So how can we do it? Okay, so if you read this question properly, it's given that 4 gram of metallic chloride contains 1.89 gram of the metal X. Okay, from this information we can calculate metal percentage composition. Okay, but how? So let's see it. Okay, so if they are saying that metal chloride, okay, I would say metal chloride. So they are saying that 4 gram of metal chloride contains 1.89 gram of metal X. Okay, so if I say I have 100 gram of metal chloride, then 100 gram of metal chloride contains how many grams of metal X? Okay, let's suppose I am saying the A. Okay, so A is equals to 1.89 into 100 divided by 4. Okay, so when you solve this fraction, you get the answer is equals to 47.25 gram. 47.25 gram. But sir, why are we calculating this thing? First of all, okay, so first of all dear, this is nothing but the percentage composition of the metal X. Okay, this is the percentage composition of metal X. How? It is a gram. Okay, so whenever we calculate the percentage out of 100%. That's why I have taken 100 over here. So out of 100, understand the one thing. Okay, out of 100 gram of metal chloride, 47.25 gram is our metal X. That means we can say that out of 100%, our metal X is equal to 47.25%. Okay, then if there is only two elements, metal and chloride. Okay, so if my metal is 47.25 gram, that means my chloride is 52.75%. Okay, so did you understand how can we calculate the percentage composition when it is not given? Okay, so first we calculate the, if 4 gram contains 1.89 gram of metal X, then 100 gram will contain A. Okay, so we found the gram of metal present in the 100 gram. Okay, which is nothing but our percentage. Okay, so 47.25% of metal X and 52.75 of chloride, which is present in the 100% out of 100%. Okay, so we're gonna write down over here the metal is 47.25% and chloride is 52.75%. Okay, so now we know the how can we calculate the relative number of atoms? So we have to divide the percentage composition by the atomic weight. Okay, so I will do over here 47.25 divided by 64, and for the chloride I will do 52.75 divided by 35.5. When I solve both this fraction, I get the answer 0.738 and 1.48 respectively. Okay, so we know very well that whatever answer comes, we have to go for the smallest one. Okay, so out of these two, 0.738 and 1.48, it is easily understandable that 0.78 is the smallest. So we have to divide 0.738 and 1.48 by 0.738. Okay, so we're gonna do it 0.738 by 0.738 divide on over here. It is gonna be 1.48 divided by 0.738, and answer is gonna be 1 over here and 2 over here. That means my metal is to chlorine ratio is equal to 1:2. That means, okay, first of all, are these fraction? No, there are the whole number, simple whole number ratio. This is simple whole number ratio. That means I can write down my empirical formula as XCl2. Okay, so my empirical formula is nothing but XCl2. Let's understand, let's go through this question once again and how we calculated the empirical formula. So it was given the metal X and chlorine Cl 35.5. so first we made the table and we added the chlorine and metal and chlorine over here. We added the atomic weight, but we were not given with the percentage composition. So how did we calculate the percentage composition? So metal chloride was given 4 gram, and it was said that 4 gram of metal chloride contains 1.89 gram of metal X. Okay, so we took the 100 gram of metal chloride and we tried to calculate the metal present in the 100 gram of metal chloride. Okay, and here we got the metal amount of metal present in the 100 gram, which is nothing but the percentage composition of the metal in the metal chloride. So if we out of 100%, 47.25% is my metal X, then 52.75% would be my chlorine. Okay, how did we calculate it? It was very simple. Out of 100%, we have to subtract the 47.25 and we'll get the answer 52.75 over here. Okay, and then we substituted this value over here. On dividing it with the atomic weight, we got the relative number of atoms, and when we divide the relative number of atoms by the smallest digit, we get the simple whole number ratio. Okay, this was a simple whole number ratio. That's why we could write empirical formula as a 1:2. Therefore it is become the XCl2. Okay, so this was this answer for this question. But if you still have any particular doubts in general about the any chapter of the chemistry, you can comment your doubts in the comment section and we'll try to make the dedicated video on your doubt. Okay, till then, keep on studying.